Hello there and welcome to another ES for Business and Life video. Today we have something very important. We're gonna be checking Unit 10 for our beginner's book, and we will cover the grammar. Today's objective is to learn the verb to be in the past. Not to mention that this is a very important video. Or instead of VIP, this is a very important video, VIV. Okay, so important things to remember about the verb to be in past is that we use two forms of the verb to be. Remember that to be is only the name, but the verb to be in past is was and were. Also, this structure is not used with other auxiliaries. For example, do, did, and don't. The combination is not possible at this point. So this is very, very important to remember. Okay, here we have the conjugation, or which one goes with which. We have for I, we have was, he was, she was, and it was. That is the only possible combination with the verb to be. In the second one, we have we were, you were, or they were. Then again, you do not combine this. For example, we never goes with this. It would be completely incorrect, so don't forget that. Okay, we will check the affirmative, the negative, and the question form. In the affirmative, we only have three components: component 1, component 2, and component 3. We have a subject, the verb to be in past, and which can be was or were, and the third could be the complement. Example: she was happy. They were good friends. We have subjects in this part, he, she, and they, and we have the verb to be. For she we use was, for they we use were, and the complement, happy and good friends. Some examples there. Number 1, we were at the party yesterday. Or, I was angry, I was very angry at her. And you were the best teacher. Let's label these. We have subjects. Yes, we have them. We have we, I, and you. Do we have the verb to be in past? Yes, we do. We have were, we have was, and we have were again. And do we have a complement? Yes, we do have a complement. At the party yesterday, very angry at her, and the best teacher. One important thing to remember is that we can use time. We have to use time expressions sometimes. Time expressions. In this case, yesterday. You can check with your teacher if you require more time expression examples. Now let's move on to the negative form. We have three elements too. Element 1, element 2, and element 3. Okay, so the negative consists on only having the subject, the verb to be in past in negative, which can be wasn't or also weren't. And which, don't forget also that weren't means were not, and wasn't means was not. However, when you speak and when you express yourself in English, you will want to use wasn't and weren't. And finally, the complement. Example: she wasn't a good girlfriend. We have more examples, 4 to be exact. Number 1, he wasn't nervous during the exam. I wasn't at the party with my friends. We weren't nice to him at the meeting. They weren't at home when we arrived. Let's label these. We have a subject. Yes, we have a subject. He, I, we, and they. Do we have the verb to be in past? Yes, we do. Wasn't, weren't, and weren't. Do we have a complement? Yes, we do. We have nervous during the exam, at the party with my friends, nice to him at the meeting, at home when we arrived. So then again, we have all three elements, element 1, element 2, and element 3, in all examples. Now the questions are also very simple. They consist in 4 parts. The first one being optional depending on the situation. We have question word, verb to be in past, subject, and complement. Example: where were you last night? Where were you last night? A possible answer can be I was at home. Okay. Now we have some examples. Was the movie good? We can say yes, it was. Or no, it wasn't. Example number 2. Were they comfortable? We can say no, they weren't. Example number 3. What was the play about? You can say it was about war. Okay, let's check if we have the elements here. We have a question word. Well, in number 1 and number 2 we don't, because in this case it is not necessary, but we do have it in 3. What? Oh, let me change that color. Yes, we have it here. What? Do we have the verb to be in past? Yes, we do. We have was, were, and was. Do we have a complement? Sorry, do we have a subject? Yes, we do. The movie, they, the play. And finally, do we have a complement? I think we do. We have good, we have comfortable, and we have about. Alright, before we say goodbye, let's go back a little bit. Remember, this is a VIV, very important video for your English learning. We saw the verb to be in past, and don't forget that we use was and were. Also, don't forget, do never combine was and were with do, did, and don't. Doesn't, never, please. This is the combination. I, he, she, it go with was, and we, you, and they go with were. Okay, the affirmative only has 3 parts: subject, verb to be in past, and complement. Examples: we were at the party yesterday, I was very angry at her, and you were the best teacher. Negative has 3 parts too. We only changed from was to wasn't, and from were to weren't. And examples are: he wasn't nervous during the exam, I wasn't at the party with my friends, we weren't nice to him at the meeting, and they weren't at home when we arrived. Questions have 3 or 4 parts. Question word if necessary, verb to be in past, subject, and complement. For example, where were you last night? And we have examples, more examples too. We saw them. Was the movie good? Were they comfortable? What was the play about? Well, thank you very much. I'll see you in Unit 11. And don't forget, one more time, never stop practicing. Well, see you around, guys. Goodbye.